Internet! What's up, Internet? What's going on? How's everybody doing? It's Wednesday, August 29th. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? What's happening? Hope everybody is having a swell, fantastic end of the summer. The end of the summer is coming, folks. If you're not paying attention out there, the end of the summer is coming because it's almost the end of August, you know? It's almost the end of August, so that means it's almost the end of summer, I think, as far as I know, in my estimation. One time I looked at a calendar and it said things about stuff like that, and that might be the case, that it's almost the end of summer. I have no idea what's going on because I'm super jet-lagged, so we shall see how the show goes today. It might be long, it might be short, I don't know. Does that like imply some kind of responsibility to you guys? Maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Might be a thing. Might be a thing of like, man, if there's only 4 people here and they don't really want to talk, then man, it might get super boring. I don't know. So if you're out there, feel free to throw something in the chat and say howdy and see how you're doing. Let us know how you're doing, how your fish is doing. Maybe you got a question. I got to adjust the volume, you guys. Output volume. All right. Had to adjust the volume a little bit. I noticed it was a little lacking, a little lackluster in the volume department. Sorry about that, guys. But who was first to the chat? Nando Manuel. Coming in number 1. He's obviously got his notifications turned on. I wonder who else has their notifications turned on. Let's see. Steve's Fishy Place. What's up, dude? Says he's not going to be here. He's got other things to do, which understandable. CJ Black is here. What's up with the early live stream? That's right. We're going a little hour early today, mainly because I have about a million things to do. Just trying to offload edits, get all that stuff done, try to do all this stuff. You guys know I've been out of town. I've been traveling, and the traveling will continue real soon because we'll be leaving in less than a week again. So basically have Labor Day weekend and then leaving town again. So those of you in Minnesota, the United States, Minnesota, reach out. Let me know what's going on. If you're out there, maybe you want me to come out and check out your fish room or something like that. Let me know. Otherwise, we'll be at the... oh, no. My brain escapes me right now. We'll be at the Minnesota Fish Club deal, you know, which hopefully I'll have better... hopefully I'll have better information for you guys by Friday. Friday's show will be at normal time, as far as I know, unless something happens. Who knows? But let's finish saying what's up to everybody that's here, because it's a nice, casual Wednesday. It's getting close to the end of the summer. I get it. You guys probably all have heat exhaustion, you know, it being so hot and on fire everywhere. Oddball Aquatics is here, saying they're busy. Got to check it in later. Well, sometimes you got to check it in later. I get it. Rocky's Rocky is here. Woo shoo, Jimmy Brown is going to be super busy at work. Check it on the flip side. Dig it. John Gonzalez saying, bought some fish today. Can't wait until they're out of quarantine. The community tank just gets bigger. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I love it when you get to bring in some fish and quarantine them. I do personally hate the wait myself. It does drive me nuts. I feel like once I've got something, I'm like, man, I want to put it in the tank. But Quarantine's just the best way to go. Bald and Dangerous here, saying, sorry won't make it. The wife is ill, so need to pamper her. All right, you got to take care of your wife, man. I know how that goes. And says to hit the like button and share it as usual. Hope you have a great live stream. All right. I think it'll be all right. I can't imagine it'll be all that bad. But let's see who else is here. Flynn's Fish Forum, whom I believe it's his birthday. I saw a thing earlier that said it was Flynn's birthday. So hopefully we can make this show at least pretty good and entertaining for all Flynn out there on his birthday. He's coming all the way out to the internet on his birthday, which, mad props, my guy. Jad Orzi's here, Fishhead2925, Little Large Mouth, saying what's up back in the USA. That's right. I am back in the USA. Daryl Deemer, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Potate Bro is here. Licks Nibbles. Aqua Balls has shown up, saying you went to Lebanon. Nope, didn't go to Lebanon. Susan for SLC Aquatics is here. Fish Dreams, Meat Man, John Gonzalez, Ken Eme. Hello to everybody. Fishy Mailman is here, out running errands. I'll have to rewatch later. Glad to have you back, and have a great stream. Oh, there's a lot of people checking in. This is just too early. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is just too early for a lot of people. But, hey, you know, we do what we can, and you can always watch it later. So, hey, that's life, right? BN Cooley Aquatics is here. Maxwell Sonneman says, what's up? Ken M.A. is here saying, I'm interested in what you saw from Dennerle. Well, boy, howdy. I'm going to be putting up some internet videos for you guys if you want to be checking those out. So I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that question in a minute. Mortal Slayer is here. Zach Clark. Meat Man is here. Samil Kapoor. Charlie. Everybody's like shouting out where they're at, I guess. All right. Somebody's asking where it's at. All right. Well, anyhow, I can't say hi to everybody because it will just be a show of me saying hi to everybody, but it's been a long time. So, you know, we haven't had a live stream in a long time, so I feel like it's always good to say hi to some people, you know, like respect. Respect to you guys, because obviously I wouldn't necessarily be here if it wasn't for you guys. So, you know, big thank you to you guys for tuning in and just showing up and being like, hey, man, I'm a plant nerd. I'm a planted aquarium nerd, and I want to learn how to do more aquarium stuff. And that's what this show is all about. That's what putting out videos and stuff. I try to help you guys with things, maybe some new stuff I learn or even some old stuff I know. You know, it's just try to do what I can to get out stuff to you guys. And, yeah, if you guys weren't here, it would be weird because I would just be putting it out into nowhere, right? Which I believe is somehow a possibility, and there might be a person out there that would just be like, oh, that's the real art, the art that you just make for the sake of making art, right? Which, I guess, you know, I get it. I get what they're saying, but sometimes those deep thoughts are just like, they're just too much to handle. You know what I mean? Like, there is a point sometimes where it's like, you know, you can make a piece of art and you only show it to one person. It might be just a little, it might just be a little, like, not enough for a regular person. You know? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know, at least you know, I think every human, like, I think if you're doing stuff, you want to have some kind of appreciation for what's going on, right? I think that's just normal human stuff. And there might be, like, some kind of wizard out there, like Tesla, like Nikolai Tesla. You know, obviously he hasn't been alive for, like, 100 years or whatever, but maybe he didn't care if anybody found out. But then again, he did go on those, like, publicity tours and stuff, so I think even that guy was like, I still want people to know. So who knows? Then again, he was also trying to make the, like, electricity that just flew through the air, which obviously was for all the people. I think. I don't know. Introspective moments here on a fish live stream about Tesla. Right? I think that's how it goes. It's just getting weird. You know, let's be honest. I'm super jet lagged. Yesterday we traveled probably about 20 hours altogether because we had to drive I don't even know because it's kilometers. To 250 kilometers or something like that. 280? I'm trying to think here. 1.6, right? 1.6 kilometers to a mile. Miles to kilometers. 1.60934. Oh, come on now. So let's see. So let's say if it was 120 miles, 193 kilometers. Yeah, so it was probably like 200 kilometers, 220, something like that. Just to get to the airport, you guys. Just to get to the airport, just to get to the airport, we had to drive that far. Then wait around in the airport, try to figure out and navigate an airport that everything is in German. Then wonder what's going on because we have to like check bags, but we're at the wrong place and we got to check bags over there, and then they tell us we're in the wrong spot, we have to go over there, and then, dude, why didn't you print your boarding pass yet? And it's like, well, because in the US if I check a bag, they print the boarding pass where you check the bag, like hello, hey, you know, with all the TSA stuff and everything like that going on, you figure like why isn't everybody sort of on the level? Like we just kind of follow like the same system, but everywhere the system is completely different. It's super weird. You know, and so it was kind of interesting, you know. And then eventually we do get on that plane. Then we fly for 11 hours over the North Pole. We fly over the North Pole, of which we did luck out because Koopy and myself, we were all the way at the back of the plane, and we had middle seats. We had those middle seats, you know, and we lucked out because the flight attendant realized, oh wait, there's empty seats over here. Why don't I grab one of the people from the middle aisle and just put them over there? Which was like, oh, awesome. Now we have an extra seat here. We can all just kind of spread out a little bit, which worked out fantastically and was awesome until... So the person that left our middle seats and went over to the window seat, we all realized was a curse, okay? Because this is one of those people that the time that we were flying, the sun was shining directly in the window, okay? Directly in the window. So I'm in the very center of the plane, a 747-400, by the way, which is kind of a big, wide-body, beefy, fat plane, and I'm all the way, like, in the middle, and this lady has got the window open. The sun is just beaming straight from that window right into my face, okay? So I'm like, I'm tired. We're flying back. This is going to be a really long flight. And I've got a sunbeam going directly in my eyeball. Okay? So I sort of did the thing, like, instead of getting up and being like, dude, close the window. What's wrong with you? Kind of did the polite thing and just put up, like, what is this? What is this over here? Hold on. Before I hold this up on the internet, why don't I find out what it is? Oh, it's old Les Schwab information. Whatever. It's not a big deal. So I hold up like just this big sheet of paper like right next to my head like this. And eventually the flight attendant comes by and is like, oh, that guy's getting laser beamed by the sun. And so she goes and tells the lady like, hey, close the window. It's just, you're just blinding everyone over this direction, right? So the lady like closes it like this much because she feels like she's got to stare out the window from 40,000 feet. I don't know what she thinks she's going to see from 8 miles in the sky flying around, right? it's kind of mind-bending, right? And then so she's like creeping the window back open, and then the sun's beaming in my eye again. And for whatever reason, like Corey was at the perfect trajectory to be completely unaffected by it. And I'll tell you the actual reason. The actual reason was there was another person who had his hood like all the way pulled over his head, and then like put the blanket on himself and like closed his hoodie. Like he pulled the strings on his hoodie completely tight, and then had the blanket over himself and was like asleep like this. So that shadow was where Corey was, just asleep. He was just sawing logs like crazy, and I'm like, I don't understand how this dude could sleep through this. Finally, I got up and like walked around a little bit, and then I realized like, oh, he's in the shadow of the dude that's got the hood thing pulled super tight, and he's like, like trying to just sleep without trying to cover up the sun. So that was pretty interesting, but other than that, an uneventful flight. Nothing weird happened or anything like that. Typical food, blah, 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 boring, blah, blah, nonsense. Then we landed in Denver, and if y'all are wondering if we were bringing some fish back and stuff, yes, we sort of were experimenting with what it takes to get some fish back from Europe. Like, so if next time we go, like, hopefully we'll be able to bring some stuff with us back, you know. So we were basically testing it, just a couple of fish, just a couple of shrimp, stuff like that. And that's kind of what we were doing. We were testing, so we packed them all up nice. We put them in a big styrofoam shell, padded them up real good, and brought them. And then when we were when we landed in Denver, I had no idea what was happening, right? Somehow, Corey was behind me getting off the plane, so I waited down at the end of the, I don't know, that articulating arm walkway thing. I can't remember the name of it, but it pulls up to the plane, you walk up it, it brings you into the terminal. So I walked to the end of that, and then I was waiting for Corey, and I don't know, somehow, dude got past me and got, like, way in front of me in the customs and stuff. And then he was, like, texting me, like, dude, where you at? And I'm like, man, I'm waiting for you. And he's like, I'm in the line. I'm like, okay. So since we had booked, basically we brought the fish back. Corey, we just put them all into one thing, and so Corey was going to be responsible for them for a multitude of reasons, whatever. It was just kind of flip a coin. One of us was going to have to do it. So, but he basically got in to get the fish checked and stuff in Denver, and they like pretty much just like, well, I have no idea what these fish are, so they're going to have to wait. Right? And, which, you know, we only, by this point in time, because of customs, because of the immigration, because of this, blah, 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 we had about 20 minutes before our connecting flight. So to give you an idea, when we landed, we had 2.5 hours in between flights in Denver to catch the next flight to Seattle. And by the time we ran up to catch our flight, to Seattle in Denver, that's how long this was taking. And basically they just said, yeah, we have to wait for Fish and Wildlife to check these out. And it's like, they're guppies, there's some cherry shrimp, nothing too crazy, man. Like, these are all super common. And they're just like, no, that's not what I do. So sadly, we have to wait. The fish and shrimp had to wait for Fish and Wildlife to show up, identify them, but they are headed this way now. So this all happened yesterday, but they're headed this way now. They're basically like same day overnighting them and whatnot, and we're basically at the point right now, like, just fingers crossed, everything's cool, and hope that they made it, and we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow. Or I'll find out tomorrow or whatever if it worked out. I'm pretty excited if they do make it, because that's pretty cool to be able to like bring some stuff back. I'm not 100% sure on how that's gonna go. I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to go or what it's going to be. I don't know. I'm not, so we'll see if they show up, and I hope that they do. It would be really cool if they show up and everything worked out fine. I mean, I know that they were packaged really well, so it should be okay. And I just kind of fingers crossed. I hope they make it, because it's really like there's nothing more dissatisfying than fish that doesn't make it. Than fish that doesn't make it. Bonsai Bench says, I get it, though. Protecting your country is real important. Yes, it is very important. It's one of those things that we figured that, we weren't bringing anything back that wasn't super identifiable, just some guppies and just some real basic shrimp. So we were hoping that, it just turns out that, like, the Fish and Wildlife people weren't there. So I think if they had been there, they probably would have, like, pulled the bags out, looked at them like, yep, you're cool, see ya. But I just don't think that those people were there at the time. So it was just a matter of, like, that person that would have inspected them or not just was not available. So, it's just kind of an unfortunate timing thing, and I don't even think there's any way that you could check that. I don't think there's any way that you could be like, hey, who's working at the airport when I'm flying in? I'm pretty sure they have that kind of on lockdown, like, not to be, like, announcing who's at work or who's not at airports, for security reasons, because security reasons, my bros. But... oh, forgot to turn this off. But overall, a pretty pleasant flight. I will say the like 3-hour flight from Denver to here just felt like nothing. It was like, we landing. You know what I mean? It was like, after so many flights and so many car rides and all that kind of stuff, it definitely was, it just felt like such a short flight. So let's see. Oh, Gillett says, tell us about the Shrimp King. One of the things I can tell you about the Shrimp King, Chris Lukup. If you don't know who Chris Lukup is, look him up. A simple Google search will start to open your eyes to who Chris Lukup is. I should probably type his name in here. Luke Alp. I'm hoping I spelled that right, but basically look that up. You can basically find some of the images and some of the videos and things that Chris has done. He definitely is one of the pioneers in. He is definitely one of the pioneers in shrimp keeping and stuff like that. I will tell you guys, I am the first. Okay, maybe I'm the co-first. Okay, I don't know if I'm actually the first person. No, I'm not the first person because Chris has one of these. But maybe I'm the first person in Tacoma, Washington with this shirt right here. That'll be the 3rd annual shrimp contest. I'm actually reading that off of the shirt. 3rd International Shrimp Contest in Secaucus, New Jersey. October 19th to 21, be there or be square, folks. Yes, if you don't know what's going on in Secaucus, New Jersey, October, whatever those days are, that will be the aquatic experience. I will be at the aquatic experience. 100%. I will be there unless I'm deathly ill or dead. All my tickets are booked. All my things are punched, whatnot. The one thing that is definitely stressing out me and my family at this point is that Vicky Toria will be super pregnant by then. And so I absolutely have to go to the aquatic experience. I cannot miss going to the aquatic experience this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I just got off the phone earlier today, double, triple, quadruple checking, whatever it is, that Grandma Corvus, right, will be here in my stead while I'm gone. So Grandma, my mom, my mother dearest, will be here in my stead to either help Victoria out and, you know, what if the baby comes while I'm gone? My grandma, a.k.a. my mom, will be here to hopefully make sure that everything is okay with that. So I just want to emphasize to people, I will be at the aquatic experience. If you want to be there, you should go. It should be a lot of fun. Not even just to mention this shrimp contest. If you guys didn't notice some of the videos last year from the shrimp contest, a whole bunch of shrimp that you probably haven't seen in person. You may have seen on the internet or something. But a whole bunch of shrimp that you have probably never seen in person will be at the aquatic experience, and featuring this shrimp contest right here, hosted by Chris Lukup himself. He'll actually be there in person also. I double-checked that before I left Germany. He's going to be there. I'll probably be there hanging out with him, and we'll be just hanging out talking about which metal albums are our favorite, and which cat would probably fit. Like which cat is the most metal for that album, right? Like, is it a Siamese? You know, is it a Siamese cat? Maybe. Maybe it's one of them speckled tabbies. You know, you know what I mean? Maybe one of those all black cats with yellow eyes. So that will be a thing that's going on there. We'll be being super weird, you know what I mean, just hanging out, and also super serious because they're going to be doing the judging for the shrimps and stuff. I'm not going to be doing any judging or anything like that. I will just be there hanging out with y'all. Hanging out with you guys, get to meet the fans and do all that kind of stuff. I have not booked myself to be super occupied with anything else while I'm there, so we'll be just generally meeting with you guys, probably going out to dinner, hanging out at the convention, you know, telling Fluval they's tripping, you know, letting them know what up, right? That's pretty much what's going to be going on there. I'm just going to be there, like, spending as much time meeting all you guys as I can, and just doing whatever. Oh, man, we're 27 minutes in. So you know what we got to do? We got to go like this. Copy, paste. Oops. Hopefully that link works. Probably. We're 27 minutes in, so we got to do the commercial thing. Hey, have you ever been to Patreon? You should go to Patreon and Patreon your Patreon. Yeah, go check it out. I put it it's in there. You know, if you guys want to Patreon and help support, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And, you know, that's what it is. I recently read a comment thread which kind of cracked me up that there's a lot of people in the fish industry or in the fish YouTubing that are like asking for donations and this and that and the other thing. And, you know, it's one of those things. It's almost always like a comment from somebody who's like admittedly like just trying to do like act like holier than thou, you know, which always kind of cracks me up, man. It's like, hey, if you're super mad that something's funded by people, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. If you don't like that, then just go watch something else, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I find it to be like super hilarious when I read the comments. And speaking of reading comments, I was reading a lot of the comments and stuff in regards to the Tom Barr video that I posted of harvesting the manzanita. Now, I seem to have made a bunch of people super pissed about that because apparently I was, apparently in the video, I think what I was supposed to do is like drone on really at length at the beginning to highlight that if you're illegally harvesting manzanita, that's wrong, which it is. Certain types of manzanita are endangered. The ones that we were harvesting is not. who Tom Barr is. Apparently, I'm supposed to tell everybody who Tom Barr is, which I don't know. If you don't know who Tom Barr is, I think you should go look him up. You know, it would definitely be worth your time to go look him up. And if I have a mentor in this hobby, if I have a hero in this hobby, if I have somebody that I really look up to in this hobby, it's Tom Barr. And that's actually even somebody that I am graced with the opportunity to be able to have conversations with him. We were able to set up to go collect Manzanita with him. Yes, he has all of the licensing, the knowledge, the know-how, the college credentials, all of that stuff in place. And I tried to make that video as sort of quick-paced and entertaining as possible, just to kind of show people, hey man, you have to like go up into the hills and harvest this stuff. Like it ain't just, it doesn't just come from an imaginary place, you know. And it was kind of odd. It was kind of odd that like it's my responsibility to like outlay all of that stuff, which I guess maybe the expectation is because I get on here and do the long format show, right? That like maybe all of my videos will be the exact same way. And the unfortunate thing is, like, YouTube just doesn't want you to do that. Like, YouTube doesn't even want me to do this show. Like, this show is too long and, air quote, not engaging enough and doesn't make them enough money, you know? So, like, it's kind of one of those weird things. It's kind of one of those weird things that is interesting. Fran Dookie is asking, is this still live? What's up, Fran? Fran! Yeah. You're live on the internet. Let me check some of the other comments here. Joel Gillett says, I don't want anything from anyone but friendship, so thanks for the friendship, friends. Well, thank you, Gillett. Oh, you living out there in New Zealand. I tell you, Kiwis, man, you just got a glorious outlook on life. I love it. It's just so awesome. One asterisk, Aquarius is Norwegian and total bosses. Metal as hack. Is it metal as hack? Metal as... The Norwegians are definitely metal, that's for sure. Sharpie's model says, my feral cat, buddy Zach, is highly metal. Mental. Dig it. I dig that. Flickabook says, first ever comment on YouTube. All right. Congratulations on the very first one. Let's see. Tampa Tom says, to be honest, I don't know who Tom Barr is. I would definitely look up Tom Barr, look up the Barr Report, B-A-R-R, and you'll definitely get an idea of like, oh, wait a minute, this dude was doing aquascaping like 25 years ago or something. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's at least 20 years that he's been one of those guys that has been a go-to, you know, for plant knowledge, all that kind of stuff. Like he's always been a go-to, and yeah, he's just he's overall an awesome dude, and definitely knows his stuff. So oh, I see 54 Punchy in the chat. What's up? That's pretty cool. I see Barbara Jackson in the chat. That's good. Bonsai Bench. What's up? But yes, if you don't know who Tom Barr is, definitely go look him up, check him out, see what's all about. He's not a guy that does videos or anything like that. He's a guy that does forums. He loves forums and stuff like that because he loves to type out at length. And, you know, it's a lot of reading and stuff like that, but it's definitely a worthwhile, a great place to stop off and learn some stuff about some things if that's what you're into. I believe he is going back to teaching in college. The last time I talked to him, which was just like a week ago, or no, actually I talked to him yesterday, but whatever. It was like a couple weeks ago. He's accepted a job as a professor for the next couple years or something, teaching ecology and the whatever it is that he does. I mean, don't quote me on what his classes are because I don't know what they are, but he'll be back teaching forest management or whatever it is that he's doing. And you know, so he's just overall definitely a guy that you definitely would want to listen to because he's got a lot of info in his old noggin there. Fish Dreams says, what a good hardscape rock for Neo shrimp. Neocaridinus? Neocaridina shrimp, they're pretty much... Neos are pretty much ambivalent to rockscape. There's only a couple of rocks that I wouldn't do with Neos myself. And that would be like Texas Holly Rock is a kind of a no. Limestone is always just kind of a no. And what's the other one I'm thinking of? I don't know. But generally speaking, Neocaridina are pretty resilient with just about any kind of rock and stuff like that. It's just not, I wouldn't be too stressed out about it. I mean, I currently have them with Dragonstone in one tank. I have them with Sierra Stone in another tank and Basalt in another tank. It's just, they're pretty fine. As long as you aren't putting something that's going to super alter the water parameters, like as far as the pH and all that, then you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. Fancy Tail Aquatics showing up. Mr. Movie Man is here. Yo, I just won a $1,800 scholarship for interest in botany in my university because I'm really into aquarium plants. Well, congratulations. Definitely appreciate that. That is awesome. That is great to hear. That is cool, man. Definitely is very helpful. You know, it's one of those things. I think somebody was asking me while I was overseas that we're having a long conversation, and they were trying to figure out, like, what's my backstory? And my backstory is so weird, and they were like, I don't understand how you know how to do so many things. I've always just been one of those people that's like wildly interested in the correlation of things, you know. You guys, a lot of you people know that I was a chef for many, many years, and you know, I'm classically trained how to cook big time at a restaurant, blah, 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 all that kind of nonsense. And being a chef is one of those interesting careers that, you know, you do have to learn a lot of stuff. You have to learn shipping. You have to learn costing. You have to be on the computer and know how to use computers, along with fully cooking, you know, cooking all of the food, recipe design, you know, figuring out what it's going to cost to make each item and how to price items, where they're going to be sourced from is what has always led me back down the path of agriculture, planted aquariums, like how to take care, you know, what is botany, aquarium plants, all that kind of stuff. That's what always has led me back down that path. You know, it's like I'm a chef and I want to know where it comes from. You know, I don't necessarily feel that great when I go to a store and if I'm just going to buy something and I have no idea where it came from as far as food goes, like, I'm not too into that. There are recognized things that I look for in regards to, you know, like what company has produced this, what farm did this come from, and I just happen to be somebody who knows a lot of that because of the years and years, and so I was, you know, I was always interested in that kind of stuff. I was definitely interested in reptiles and fish and stuff growing up through the years. And I was trying to recount all this kind of craziness. And I do realize that, like, when I explain a bunch of the stuff that I've done in my life, people are just like, what? How do you, what? You know? So it's one of those things, like, you know, I learned how to do a lot of construction because of necessity. You know what I mean? It was necessity, you know, not only to, you know, being a chef, like, you can't just build out a restaurant and have no idea of what you're going into. Like, if you don't know how things are supposed to be plumbed properly, right? How are you going to approve the plumbing designs for your kitchen if you don't know how it's going to be plumbed? How do you know what type of equipment you're going to need as far as how much natural gas consumption that you need, how much power that you need for all of the equipment that you're going to run? So there's a lot of stuff, ins and outs that go into it. I spent a lot of time learning and doing construction, like on the weekends and stuff like that. So that's why I know how to do a lot of this stuff. So I don't think the path that I've gone down is a very good conventional path for a lot of people, but I do try to pass that stuff on to you, and that's pretty much the whole The whole reason for even showing up on the internet is like, hey, maybe I can help somebody out. That's just the whole reason I'm here, right? So I just keep trying to share stuff with you guys and let you guys know. You know, one of the things that was brought up was like, I don't understand your YouTube channel. Like, it doesn't really convey to me like what you're doing. And I basically just had to explain to him, I'm like, I do so much stuff, I don't know how to brand this thing. So maybe somebody later on, maybe some people in the comments down below or whatever, if you want to be like, if you have some ideas of what you think the description of this channel should sound like, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will point out that you guys can comment during the live stream as a video comment down below. I know it takes a minute to figure out. It's a little bit confusing, but you can go down and make a permanent comment that's not just in the live chat. Wherever the live chat is that you're watching, you know, who knows where it is, you can make just a permanent comment. But I would definitely appreciate if you guys at least like what should the description sound like on this channel, right? What's read like? I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, I think, realistically, and kind of hope for the best. Now, speaking of doing what I'm doing and hoping for the best, Dennerle was, I have to say, they were amazing hosts. They were fantastically amazing hosts. We had a great time while we were there. You know, both Corey and myself, I just had to admit that it was very organized. It made a lot of sense. We went to a lot of places. Oh, let me get my kilometers calculator out here. Okay, so one of the drives that we had to make while we were there is 1,000 kilometers one way. Which, to give you guys an idea, converted into miles, that is 621 miles. We made that drive, okay? And I will tell you guys something. If you guys just knew how much that cost in just gasoline, petrol, diesel, whatever. We were using diesel, so it was a diesel car that we used. But they hosted us being able to drive. Dennerle they helped to host us to be able to make that drive possible. And we drove from Germany all the way through Austria, right? We drove all the way through a country. Just right through Austria. Then we ended up in Hungary, in Budapest. We were in Budapest, Hungary, right? That's where Green Aqua is, which is sort of like the Europe's ADA store, man. It is... Talk about making me feel a little insecure about the work that I do, because those boys out there are just killing it. I mean, it's an amazing store, very well designed. The layout is great. All of the aquascapes were fantastic. Really, really well done. And I couldn't even, it's really hard to explain in terms that it just being descriptive, just trying to be descriptive with words. So you guys will have to stay tuned, because I will be posting a video on that for sure. But yes, so myself, Chris Lukup, and Corey McElroy from the Aquarium Co-op, the aquariumcoop.com, right? How does he do it? He's like, hey, this is Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Or does he do, hey, this is Corey from aquariumcoop.com? Is that how which one does he do? I don't know. But we drove 1,000 kilometers. I think it was 1,100 kilometers. But Budapest was a little, whoa. It was a little, I'm trying to grab my phone's going wild over here. Uh, the Budapest was a little bit wild. You know, it's a little bit of a wild city. It's definitely a change of pace to those of you out there if you're just normally hanging around. If you're normally just hanging around in a regular old city, you go out there to Budapest, and you'll have a whole new take on things if you just kind of spend a day wandering around that city. That's for sure. But the Green Aqua store was awesome. Definitely give a check to their we're going to definitely give their YouTube channel a look. It's a bit of a different style, but it's pretty good, and they're gonna definitely from the conversations I had with those guys, they're definitely gonna be putting out more and more content as time goes on. Very descriptive, very awesome, and very well produced. So I would definitely look forward to that. But special thanks to the #1 Dennerley for even just allowing us to buy gasoline. Diesel. Just allowing us to buy diesel was enough to just be like, dude, thanks. Because I think diesel fuel out there is like $9 a gallon, something like that. It might be €9 a gallon, which is just even more than American, right? So it gives you an idea. It gives you a bit of an idea of like just how much that was, you know. M. Howie 9 is here. I know he's going to be at the Aquatic Experience. Says, I got stuck in a cave in Budapest. I can see how you might. It could be some chaos. It was kind of a wild city, as Fran Dookie says. Has a wild nightlife. Yes, very, very wild nightlife. A lot of craziness going on in Budapest. Luckily, the three of us, hey, you know what we did? You know what our wild night was? Hey, we went out and had some delicious pasta dinner. We went to an Italian restaurant, which was very nice. It was very nice going to a little Italian joint in Budapest. We stayed at a hotel, which was more than questionable, but not that bad. And, you know, our big wild night that we had, our big wild night was at ourselves a little gelato, a little ice cream. We had a little ice cream party, you guys. It was crazy. It was a crazy, wild ice cream party with 3 fish tank dudes. 3 fish tank dudes. We're in Budapest to check out an aquarium store. We got stuck and had to stay, so we went to ice cream. It was delicious ice cream. Yeah, it was pretty good. I had the stracciatelle and some chocolate, you know? Because it pretty much is like, that's my Achilles, you guys. Some of that chocolate. You know what I mean? If you're talking about some super delicious dark chocolate ice cream, I'm probably not going to say no. You know what I mean? I'm probably not going to say no to some super delicious dark chocolate ice cream. Delish. Man. I think I'm going to fly back tomorrow and get some more ice cream. It's going to have to be ice cream time. I don't have time for that because we got to fly out to Minnesota. I don't got time. I got to take care of my family and do my family stuff. Luckily, I got home, and my lady, Victoria, doing fantastically well. I think she was a little bit lonely. I'll admit, I miss my family when I'm gone. I miss them so much. And I think that was basically the same thing. That was basically her takeaway from it. And you know, it's just a little bit hard to be on the road. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit hard to be on the road. And I know from the outside looking in, it's like, it's not boo-hoo, woe is me. You know, I'm eternally blessed to have been able to even just go on this last trip let alone any of the other trips that I've gone on. It's it's a huge blessing. It's a huge blessing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. When I look at it, I'm like, I don't even know why anybody would even want me to go in the first place. But it's a huge blessing to be able to go on this stuff. But it does make you homesick. It is certainly lonely out there in the terms of just like, I want to, Biddy Brown is right down here. I got to get the dog cam. Is the dog cam working? Let's see if the dog cam's working. I'm going to turn it upside down. Well, XSplit's doing awesome right now. Give me the preview. Scene 2, 3, 5. Oh, scene 6. We have the dog cam. Dog cam. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what's going on there? What's that? What's this? What's that? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Ah, it's my eye. Okay, let me see. Let me get the dog cam. Is it long enough? Oh, no, it's like wrapped around a thing. Let me see if I can't get the dog cam down here. Oh, there's Biddy Brown. She is just down here. Has not really left my side all day. I think Mr. Chips was outside barking at a possum last time I checked on him, so he's probably like super entertained doing that. But that's a Biddy Brown's right down there. Just flopped out. Can't even handle it. Biddy Brownie. Uh-oh. Biddy Browns, Biddy Browns, Biddy Browns, yeah! Oh. There we go. Okay. Well, we're back to normal. We'll get that dog cam figured out. I'm going to get that. When I move the office, I'm going to move the office down. I'm going to be building out a studio. I'm going to try to get a full-time dog cam, Let's see. Does anyone know? Oh, Mithrandir. Oh, hello, Mithrandir. Pleasure to meet you. Elegant Mithrandir. That's a token. That's a token callback, right? Hello, Biopsidae. Hello, Biopsidae, right? The shrimp disease. If you guys don't know what that is, you should definitely go look it up. It's essentially a fungus that is causing a problem. Fancy Tail Aquatics says they're not aware of a cure. There is the only cure that I have heard and not tested myself. The only cure that I have heard was from a Fancy McFancerton shrimp keeper that I got to talk to. I got the opportunity to talk to, and the only thing that they had found was Malachite Green. Am I saying that right? Yes. No one. Malachite Green, which can be procured all over the place. It's really not super difficult to find, but Malachite Green chloride. I can't remember what it's in off the top of my head right now. I think it's in Icax or something. I forget what it's in. Let me see if I can't find it here real quickly. I can't remember what it's in. It's in one of the typical treatments that we use. Malachite Green is prepared by the condensation of benzaldehyde and dimethylylene, but dimethylylene. Cool. I can't say that right now. I'm jet lagged. I'm sorry. But it's in one of our usual, let me see. It's in one of our usual treatments, which I can't seem to find here. Maybe somebody knows about it. Let me see. Well, I can't find it. It's in ICX. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel's asking, how's the jet lag? I'm jet lagged as all get out and can't read things or pronounce things very well right now. But I'll get back to careful, you know. But as Jen says, be careful with Malachite Green. You do not want to spill it. Yes, you do not want to spill it. This is something that you want to take serious care with. You definitely want to take serious care. I am looking at the toxicity here. The LD50 is 80 milligrams, which is basically nothing. And will cause a serious problem. It will cause serious respiratory problems with you if you are not being careful with it. 100% being careful. A slight application of this on the shrimp's food, then allowed to completely dry. Okay, so you need to apply it to the shrimp food that you use. I would recommend Shrimp King, Shirakura. Those are the two that I would kind of recommend right now off the top of my head, but whatever shrimp food you're using. So you want to be able to apply that to their food and allow it to dry 100%. It needs to be absolutely clean. And then you need to feed the shrimp because the shrimp need to actually eat it. Like if it's just in the water column, it's not going to do anything for you. But they actually need to eat it, and that's the one way I know how to treat it. It's the only thing I know how to treat it. It's the only way I've ever heard that's ever worked. So you need to soak the food in it, allow it to completely dry, and then that's the best way. They need to ingest it. They need to ingest it into their body. It's really the only way. Let's see. I'm going to try to catch up with some of the questions in the chat here. Might be wearing down and getting tired. It's only been an hour, but I have to admit I am getting kind of tired. It's probably the jet lag and stuff. Yeah, so Potato Bro says, so looking up the puddle would be a bad idea. Yes, it would be a very bad idea. Yeah, syringe. Yes. Okay. So let's see. What else do we got going on here? Oh, we got a $10 super chat from Daryl Deemer. Thanks, man. No question on it, though. Just a $10 super chat. Throwing it in the old, just throwing it in the old tip jar, which is always nice. Oh, John is asking, what's the disease again? Elobiopsidae is the disease. That one I just know. I don't normally have to say chemical compounds out loud, to be honest with you. Like I've read them a million times, but I don't know. I don't ever really like say them out loud. And you know, off the cuff answering questions, you know, it's not like I went out there and, you know, practiced a bunch to make sure I could say like weird last names or any of that kind of sort. Oh, anyhow, let's see. Whoop. What's this thing? What's this doing? What is this doing? Is this freaking out? Ooh. I guess, well, hey, why not? While we're at it, let's just say, Ken M.A. coming in on the Patreon. Thanks. Candy Overhauls just posted the Patreon, so I might as well do the Patreon commercial here real quick. Patreon! It's a site where we crowdsource being able to do the show. And then we'll be able to do the show and make videos for YouTube and stuff. It wouldn't be possible without viewers like you. Like an NPR commercial. Yeah. Commercial. It's like a commercial. So let's see. What else did we talk about? We talked about the road trip. Oh yeah. And then on the way back from Hungary, right? So we went to Budapest in Hungary, and then we stopped by the International Guppy Contest, which was cool. And I think at every iteration when I made that video, I think I said European, which means I'm going to have to do a ton of editing to remove the fact that I keep saying European in that video. The European Guppy Contest. The European Contest. The European. It's like international. Dope, you know. So, like one of those people that didn't really even know what's going on because I was in Vienna. You know, never been to Vienna before, but I will tell you, architecture around there was real cool. Architecture in Budapest was real cool too. But needless to say, probably about 400 tanks worth of guppies on display. 300 or 400. Set up in rows. They had all been judged. The trophies, awards, all that stuff had been handed out. We made it there on Sunday. So here's the crazy thing. Today is Wednesday, right? I was in Vienna, Austria on Sunday. And then I was in a bunch of other places before I even made it back here. So it's kind of wild, man. It's kind of wild living around here in the living in 2018. It's hard to even like kind of wrap your mind around it that like, dude, so I was in Austria on Sunday, right? Then I was in Germany, then I was somewhere else and somewhere else. You know, it's pretty wild. It is you know, it is it's pretty interesting to just to be like, man, we're in the 21st century. It's pretty weird. But it's pretty cool. Daniel with the here's a coffee for the editing with the Jetlag, a $2. Ooh, what is that? What's the A? What's the only the A? Where's Daniel at? Man, if he's in Austria and we missed him, that's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to fly back to Austria and then, which I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I liked it there. I really liked it in Germany and Austria. It was really nice. A lot of cool people, a lot of just cool places. I definitely enjoyed the weather, even though everyone was saying that it had been super hot. When we were there, it was right up my alley, man. It was like 68 degrees and partly cloudy, and I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. It's been hot back home, but it was hot. It literally was like the day before we landed, it was like 95 out or something crazy like that. It was, you know, but I definitely enjoyed the people. I enjoyed the architecture, being able to travel around. It was pretty cool. I don't know that we'll ever live there or anything. I don't even know if any of the countries would let me move there. I think you need some kind of serious job there before you can even like really get, you know, a visa or anything like that. I think you need a company to help out. I don't know. It's very confusing, but, you know, I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to more projects and stuff like going out there and, you know, being able to go out and walk the earth a little bit like Cain, right? Like, what y'all doing out there? I'm going to walk the earth, man. I'm going to walk the earth. Why am I going to walk the earth? I don't know. I don't know why I'm going to walk the earth. Just to see things and see what's going on. I do have a hope to make it out to certain areas like Drew's saying, Austria, well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. Yeah, we did make that joke. We did make that joke while we were in Austria. Yes. But Daniel is in Australia. Okay. Daniel's in Australia. All right, then that doesn't mean I missed you. I don't know. I would love to visit Australia. I don't know if I want to go deep into the middle of Australia or anything like that. There is the sure, let me see. Australia, let me get you on a map because I wanna look at the other part. So I probably want to go to like, what is that? The northern part of Queensland, right? I probably want to go up to the Northern Territory, right? That's probably where I want to go because it's that bottom side that's near Papua New Guinea, right? Papua New Guinea is basically where I'd want to be going, right? I don't know what's going on in Perth and Melbourne or any of those areas down there or Sydney other than, like, sometimes somebody gets bit by a shark and there's like just a bunch of cool people living in a city. Although I guess I do want to go to Tasmania. So maybe I want to go to Melbourne and Sydney and Tasmania somehow. I don't know. I do definitely want to go down there. I always thought New Zealand was way closer than it really is when you start to actually look at like how far away it is. I do have goals to get to New Zealand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, probably parts of China at some point. The Philippines, yes, that whole kind of neck of the woods down there has a ton of fish, a ton of shrimp, a ton of collecting and all that kind of stuff that I would definitely, I'm definitely super interested in being able to go and try and bring some of that back to you guys. I do know that like the YouTube schedule is essentially causing a problem though, because we went out and did so much filming and everything that like now I have like a ton of editing to do, but I got shows to do and I got jobs to do. I just got like so much stuff on my plate right now. It's just like unbelievably busy, and I don't know. I guess it's good. It's good. Like I never really complain about being super busy. Like that's just rude. That's rude for me to complain about being super busy when there's a lot of people out there that are just trying to get anything going, you know? So that's not my intention to like offend anybody and just be like, oh man, I'm tired. But I am super busy and we got a lot going on. Not to mention tomorrow, I even got to drive up and hopefully see if I can't get a couple of those, get a couple of I only shipped back 3 shrimp. I mean, literally 3 shrimp. So hopefully we get a 100% survival rate of 3. Hey man, are you snoring on the show? You little brownie. Are you okay? Are you snoring? Sorry guys, I had to give Biddy Brown some little petting because she was down there snoring, you know. So hopefully we have a full survival rate of the 3 shrimp. And this is going to be a test. This is going to be a test of my ability to breed. If I can breed from 3 shrimp, because I haven't been able to breed from 1 guppy. That is a fact. Clearly, I thought I had bred the guppy, and turns out I had not. Otherwise, I probably would have. Had some babies by now, right? Obviously, since it's been like 100 years, right? So I am gonna have to look into getting some other guppies at some point, but I'm not super upset about it. I wouldn't say that I'm super happy about it, but I'm not super upset. I mean, I'll cry myself to sleep later when you guys aren't here, you know, because some people think it's kind of embarrassing when you cry on the internet, which I'll agree that I find it to be irritating when people try to glorify their crying on the internet. That's odd, right? But let's, you know, but hopefully those 3 shrimp, you know, it's like I got to drive up and get those shrimp tomorrow. So that's going to be a big thing out of my day, and along with all the other stuff I got to do tomorrow. But as Savannah says, hopefully Caleb is feeling better. If you guys don't know who Caleb is, here's the thing that I will share and implore with you to, if there was any money to be donated to anything, this is what I would donate your money to. I wouldn't donate your money to me because whatever. I don't really care about my whole thing. If I'm brutally honest with you guys, I'll probably just keep doing this even if I didn't have any funding. I guess that's true. I probably would. I'd probably just keep figuring it out. Like, I'll just go figure out how to dig more holes and try to make money so I can keep making YouTube videos, right? I think that's probably what I would do. I think that's an accurate representation. Man, I'm scatterbrained today. But check out Caleb Overhaul's GoFundMe. He's our #1 fan. He's our #1 fan. 7 years old, and 2 of those years have been battling leukemia. He may have had a birthday. He may be 8 now, and I'm just drawing a blank. I'm brain dead, brain dead right now. But check it out. If you could share that out, we're just trying to do the best to help out with that as we can. Best wishes and positive vibes to Caleb. Thank you, Sharpies. That's the best way of putting it out there and just letting it be known, right? Cool. Let's see if we got any questions here. Honestly, I'm just getting all scatterbrained now after talking for like an hour and 10 minutes. So I'll probably just wrap it up here in a minute unless anybody has any pressing questions, because I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. We went to Europe and I ate ice cream, guys. Whew. Oh, Candy. Oh, Caleb's birthday is tomorrow. He's turning 8 years old tomorrow. Yes. Cha, 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 cha. Mortal Slayer's asking, what are your plans for your trip to Minnesota? Go to the fish club meeting, go to the speaking events, eat lots of ice cream, and tour as many fish rooms as I possibly can. That's my plans. Gosh, I need to trim my fingernails. What is going on here? Maybe I'll paint them. Forget it. Maybe I'm just going to paint these long daddy-os. Maybe that's a good look. Hey, guys, if you want to aquascape, you should first marine blue your nails, right? Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I'm definitely getting to the point where I don't even know what's happening anymore. Barbara Jackson's asking, what's Caleb's favorite type of stuff these days, like movies or characters? Anything from the Avengers would be probably a good place to start. That's where I would go. Gone Mad's birthday was the 4th. What? Of August? That was a while ago. Well, either way, interest in the show is waning. I'm noticing a bunch of people dropping off, and I get it, because now I don't even know if I'm even talking on here anymore. It's just one of those times where I'm starting to get weird. All right. Well, I love you guys, and thank you for coming out, and thank you for coming to the show. Hopefully you guys will post in the comments down below and help me figure out my descriptions for the channel. And it'll be much easier to do whatever. I don't know. The jet lag is kicking in. It's going to be time for me to go. I don't know where the button is hidden. Maybe I can find it with my eyeballs and the mouse. Later.